it's John Heaton, recording in the Bahamas and just a few feet from Compass Point Studios in Nassau. Not active recording studios anymore, but from 1977 to 2010, several big albums, lots of big albums were recorded here, including a couple by the Rolling Stones. And I was going to review Emotional Rescue, but I couldn't find my vinyl copy in time to bring on holiday with me, so I'm going to review this album from 1983, Undercover. Not all of it was recorded here, but a portion of this album for sure was recorded in Nassau here at Compass Point. And this was the follow-up to To You from 1981. So a couple of year break, and then coming back with this. And well, the first thing to say is it's a terrible cover. It's the Rolling Stones kind of living up to their bad boy image, and this pointless nude woman on the front with this pointless bottom on the back. So not a good cover. And the inner sleeve at least has the words on it, which is nice, and didn't come with To You or Emotional Rescue or Some Girls, I don't think. Or so with some copies of Some Girls anyway. And this is the inner sleeve, and a fairly mystifying couple of apples there. I'm not sure what that means. But the first thing one noticed about the album was obviously the single Undercover, because that came out just before the album, and it was a very brave song about what was going on with the mafia in South America. And the video was very hard-hitting and contained some, I'm not sure if it was a real-life execution, but it was pretty unpleasant watching, so I think it was maybe banned. And but I think it was shown on MTV, and I remember seeing it and being quite impressed by it compared to other Stones videos. It had more depth to it. But I remember the song, wondering whether I liked it or not. The drums was very heavy on the drums, and it wasn't very catchy, and the guitar riff was kind of in your face, and kind of grew on me, the track. It's not a Stones classic in my opinion, but it was a respectable lead-off single. Better than, for example, the lead-off single from Dirty Work, the next album, which was Harlem Shuffle, which was a fairly innocuous cover. Then we get She Was Hot, which is kind of the Stones by numbers, really. Kind of sexist lyric, and it's okay. Amusing video to this one, with Charlie Watts at the end, picking up about 10 different phone calls, sort of insinuating that he had 10 different girls on the line, I suppose. Not a bad track, but nothing great, really. Tie You Up, The Pain of Love. I don't know what the words are about really, but they sound pretty dodgy to me, and it's an okay rocker. It's quite gritty, but it's quite forgettable. Sorry I have to review this album before several stronger albums from the Stones, but that's the way it goes. I just wanted to pick one which was recorded here in Nassau. So Wanna Hold You is from Keith, and is one of his weakest songs ever, I have to tell you. Sorry about that. Feel On Baby is a nice reggae closer to the end of the album. It's the end of side one, and kind of a bit like filler, I suppose, but quite pleasant filler, should we say. And then side two opens much stronger with Too Much Blood, which is possibly the best track on the album for me, and an outstanding video to this track, where, you know, and the lyrics are hilarious about, you know, when I go to the movies I want to see something like Officer and a Gentleman, you know, something you can take the wife to, rather than all these violent movies, which I guess were predominant at the time, and that's what the song is about. I'm not sure in particular what movies Jagger was talking about, but you know, Hammer House of Horror, that kind of thing, or probably stronger stuff actually. So good song and good video, check it out if you haven't seen it. Pretty Beat Up is, I don't know why I'm holding up the cover. Pretty Beat Up is is okay. It's a bit like Pretty Little Head from Press to Play. It's okay, but it just doesn't do much for the album. Too Tough is a kind of okay rocker, nothing special. Quite a nice guitar riff from Keith and Ronnie. All the Way Down, kind of more filler, I'm afraid. And then It Must Be Hell, nice riff, nice gritty song, but a little bit too reminiscent of Soul Survivor from Exile. So I'm afraid this album is kind of rather patchy, as you can tell from my review, at least in my opinion it is. But it's probably worth checking out for Undercover of the Night, the single, and Too Much Blood, which is pretty close to a Stones classic, and probably the only track from this album which is classic status. So I'm not going to bother to give it a mark out of 10. It has its moments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.